What's up everyone, Shark Eyes back once again, and today I've got another review of a Gridiron Studios product, and that is the 112 scale Desert Loadout, which is ideally suited to Mr. Tudor here. So, without further ado, let's open this bad boy up and go through what's inside. So we're going to start with the weapons that come with this set. This is a set that I've been wanting to get for quite some time and just never pulled the trigger on it because, well, I saw other Gridiron stuff that I wanted to get first. So I finally got a Dusty figure too. I'd always had Dusty mint in box, and I'd never actually had a loose one. But thanks to my good friend Down South 77, he hooked me up recently with one that he sent from the States, and I decided that he needed some extra kit. So let's have a look first at the M203 standalone. And straight off the bat, you can see that the desert weathered look of this weapon is fantastic. Now obviously the original Dusty never came with more than one gun, which was the FAMAS, I believe it's called. You know, true to the French Foreign Legion kind of look that he has. But this is a nice piece, and a little bit of extra heavy artillery. Doesn't go astray now, does it? You can see it's got the port, probably for a larger blast effect. I don't know if any of those would work, but you know what? We can have a look because I actually have some Gridiron ones here. So just bear with me while I get this out of the packet. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. If you're not, well, thank you for watching anyway. And this is one of the larger blast effects, and it does fit, which is cool. Now, the M203, I believe, doesn't even have a blast effect, but these are toys, so do whatever you want. But now you know, and you know what they say about that. All right, so moving on to his more traditional weapon. This is the Tavor, which is obviously a bit different to his OG one, which we'll take a look at side by side in a moment. I believe the magazine should be removable. Yep, it is. And again, you've got that nice weathered desert paint application, which is nice. And there is a small port for a blast effect. Let's see if the smaller Gridiron ones work on there. I really like the Gridiron blast effects. I think they fit well. And this should just slot on, and yep, boom. Beautiful. So that is a tasty morsel of a gun. So let's look at it side by side with the one that comes with the Hasbro figure, excuse me. You can see it is a bit shorter, and it doesn't have the front hand grip. But the magazine, obviously, on this one's bigger, and the detailing is, you know, the Hasbro one does have some detail, like some fine detail on the handle and the grip and throughout here. But yeah, the Gridiron one looks completely different. No scope, obviously, also. And there's nothing wrong with this. I actually dig this, but it's nice to have a different look as well. So you know what? Let's throw this on the bad guy. Well, he's not a bad guy, but you know what I mean. It helps if I put the actual grip in and not the foregrip. There we go. Yeah. Looks pretty tough to me. And there is a slight difference between, obviously, the paint app of his fatigues and that, but that's okay. It still works well enough. All right, so next up you have a canteen. Again, nicely detailed and has a weathered look to it. And that affixes to the backpack, which we'll look at shortly. It's a nice little nod. Now, here is the bipod. And that obviously just affixes to the front here. It is not collapsible. So that's where the Hasbro one does have the advantage. But, you know, it's a small gripe, I guess. You know, if you're posing it, him laying down or something like that, then you'll use this. But if not, it's kind of a bit, well, what are you going to do with it? And I don't think you can really do anything else to storage-wise, but we'll have a look at that shortly and find out. This here is, I believe this is it's either the Shema or it could be for the helmet. I'm not too sure. I'll have to get the other one out and have a look shortly, because I know that one can be fixed to the helmet. We'll come back to that. Like with a lot of Gridiron packs, it comes with one of these rubber bands, which you can use for a sling. And I'm not sure, it's probably best suited maybe for the M203, because there doesn't appear to be any point there where you could really fix it. But obviously with the M203 you could put it through the sight line here, even though that is quite a small, oh, I don't actually, that's not even, no, you wouldn't be able to get that through there. I'll have to have a look at that. All right, let's open up the other pack. And we'll come back to the wrap that I just mentioned a second ago, because I want to see if there is any difference. Okay, so there is a difference. So I believe this one is for the helmet, which would need to be glued on because there's no other way to fix it on there. It is a nice cloth material actually. And it's got, you know, a good kind of texture to it. The texture. Okay, so again, like with other Gridiron sets, if you've seen any of my other reviews, you will have seen this exact same hand radio, just in a different paint app. And it's got some good detailing throughout. And it's got the, if you look closer there, it's got the Gridiron skull on the back, which is pretty cool. Nice little touch. Okay, so the backpack comes with the camo netting. And I won't take that out just yet because I want to get this all kitted out before we have a look at that. But this is, again, if you've ever bought any other Gridiron sets, you'll realize this is their original backpack assembly that they've used, but they've since changed that to a newer design. But I dig the old design still anyway. Yeah, that's that. All right, we'll have a look at the helmet. Now, obviously, if you have Dusty, you will know that his helmet that comes with him is quite bulbous. We'll take that off. And that in order for it to stay nice and flush, we had to do this little hack where you put the other pair of goggles on his head, which I don't like because that doesn't seem practical to me. I don't think any soldier would do that. I could be wrong. Please feel free to let me know in the comments. But yeah. And there is quite a size difference between these. And yes, this doesn't have the cowl on yet, but you can see side by side that that's how it is. Now, obviously this doesn't have the camo paint apps that the original does, which is a bit of a letdown, but it does have that weathered look, and there is some brown tinges throughout. It's a bit dusty, let's say. And you know, you do have different assembly down here compared to the strap over here. And those goggles are fixed, I'll just let you know they aren't coming off. All right. And lastly is this knife, which is pretty cool. The handle kind of has like a wooden sort of feel to it in a way, and the blade can see that detail, but it is serrated along the edge there, and then you've got that little hole point that you have through the blade. I don't know what that's called. I'm not a knife expert. Again, feel free to let me know. I've had some comments recently where people have let me know some cool stuff that I wasn't informed of, and one of those was in my last Gridiron review, actually, for the Snake Eyes loadout that I did. So go back and watch that. Gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he did correct me. Well, not correct me, but he informed me about the crossbow that comes with that set. And you know what? When people are respectful and give good information like that, I'm all about that, because we're always learning. No one knows everything. No one's the oracle. And some people would like to think they are, but in fact they aren't. But so yeah, I welcome all feedback. Good, bad, negative, positive. As long as you're respectful, that's all it boils down to. But anyway, back to all this. Let's get this all rigged up. So the radio goes in here, slides in like that. It does fall out, so that is something to be mindful of with these. It's not going to stay in really firmly, I don't think, but maybe with a bit of a push, it might. Yeah, no, it's still sliding out. Yep. So it's just something to keep in mind. Canteen just affixes to, there should be a fixed point somewhere. Why can't I see that? That's interesting. I thought there would be. Okay, I'll have a look at that again in a second. Knife just goes in like so. Very simple. And we can attach what goes down here? Is that the grenade launcher? Maybe, I don't think so. You know what, let's have a further play around with that. I honestly cannot see an attachment point here. There is a hole in the back of this, and there is a hole here, which is odd. Because if I remember correctly on the Gridiron website, it did show that it's fixed. Now, I don't know if that's a fault or if it's a case of it has to be glued, but that is something that I need to check with the Gridiron expert, such as Tony Figs. And if you haven't checked out Tony Figs' new YouTube channel, go and do that, because he's making some great content. He's an awesome customizer. He is a big Gridiron fan like I am, and Tony's a great dude. So yeah, please go check out Tony's Figs. So yeah, well, I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm just going to pop that down. I'm just going to take our scarf here, and I'm going to wrap that around old mate's head, like so. Take his old backpack off. Slip that in there. And we're going to take our helmet. And I'm going to put that up there. And just hold that there, and that should, I reckon, just go right on and keep that in place with a bit of luck. Might need to do it a bit tighter. Oh, we've just lost our other pair of goggles. We'll probably take those off. We don't need those now. Boom. He's all coming together. I dig that. Cloth goods are great. We love cloth goods. Give us more cloth goods. Gridiron, Hasbro, whoever. They're fantastic. All right, so let's pop him down. I'll fix his backpack on. And that should just easily slot in there. Now there is a harness to contend with, so I'm just going to line that up. Slowly work that in. It's showing a bit of resistance, which might need to be heated up. Let's try again. Yeah, no. I'm going to heat that up and see how we go. Bear with me. All right, I've heated up both the backpack and the harness and hole. So let's see if this goes in a bit easier now. There is quite an amount of resistance there still. It's almost like the backpack does not want to get into the hole. That's frustrating. I'm just going to pop this down here and we'll see how well this... Yeah, look at that. And see, I don't want to force this too much, and it's not going in. It's not going in at all. And it's actually bending the peg. Okay. All right, let's just go a little bit softer. No, that's not going in. That's quite disappointing. Quite disappointing indeed. Okay, I'm gonna have to abort even trying that because I don't want to break something on camera and mess up my day. So let's have a look at the netting here. I'm taking it out of the backpack. It's got a nice camo print on it. And that is just going to go in whatever configuration you like around the figure. And there's no way to fasten it. Now, if you had the backpack going through it, that would hold it into place, but we know that that currently is not an option. So I'm just going to tuck it under here and get him sort of loaded out. You know what? I'll put the original backpack in and see how that works. Just got to get it through there. There we go. So yeah, that does hold it in position. And again, you know, this is something obviously that came with Ambush back in the day, but not with Dusty here. So it is a nice touch by Gridiron. You can probably even loop it over the fingers if you want to sort of lock it into place a bit more as well. That would work. That's what I've just done there. I'm going to pull this scarf back up. So that does work. That's a real shame about that backpack. I just going to have to reach out to the powers that be about that. But that is pretty much him, minus the accessories that I can't use presently. But I dig it. It gives, you know, Dusty another look. Back here. Out in the battlefield. And of course you can mix and match things too. Like if you want to use the original helmet, you can pop that on there. Even with the netting and stuff, it might sit a bit better. Yeah, that sits pretty good. Looks pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is we're going to do something else. And that is, we're going to check out another figure. Boom! Desert Commando Snake Eyes. A figure that I'm sure a lot of people passed up, unless you're a die-hard Snake Eyes collector. But I really dig it, and I think it's a little underrated. So the other purpose of me buying this set was not just for Dusty, but I wanted to see how it would go with this guy. Because, you know, he comes with his standard Uzi and a couple of swords and a bandolier, which I've taken off. And, you know, sidearm and a knife, which I've left there. But I feel like if he is a Desert Commando, an Uzi and a sword, well, look, sure, they're very Snake Eyes centric, yes, but I kind of felt like Hasbro missed the mark here, and they could have given him something, you know, a bit more substantial, and to flesh him out and make him actually look like, you know, he's out in the desert other than just the paint apps on the figure. So I'm going to first off try the backpack and see if I have more success with it with him. it looks very similar in terms of the fixing point. So I'm just going to try ever so gently and see if that goes in. And no, really not having much success with this. So again, I'm not going to force that. I'm not going to push it. He does come with his own backpack. So again, like I did with Dusty, for the sake and purposes of this video, we're not going to mess around. So let's try the helmet. It's probably a bit more of a snug fit than Dusty, but it works. Definitely works. You know, an extra set of goggles? Sure. Hey, it works for airborne, so why not? And we're going to take this, which is a little bit of overkill really when you consider that he kind of has his own mask apparatus going on. So I'm just going to sort of sling that around there and protect his neck a bit. Protect your neck. And we'll just tie that off a little bit there. Take our webbing, or netting I should say. Throw that over. It's getting caught in his sidearm a bit there. And again, I'm going to use the backpack to kind of lock it in place. That works. Let's see how it looks. You know what? Let's get rid of this because it's going to make life a little bit more difficult. Let's see how he looks with the Tavor. If you're new to the channel again, and you like what you see, and you like gridiron stuff, then hey, flick me a sub. Because without you guys, I'm just doing this for my own entertainment. Now I've lost my magazine here. I'll just pop that back in. Yeah, that looks good with him. And again, an upgrade over the Uzi, right? Like, he's a commando. He can use other guns, Hasbro. His hands are a bit... We'll just leave that there for now. But yeah, I like that. I like it. Let's take out this knife here that comes with him, and we'll see how the gridiron one goes in there. Oh, it's a bit snug. But it does go in. Now it's stuck. We'll try it the other way, actually. It might be a better fit. Yeah, look, it's a bit snug, but it does work. Yeah, obviously his backpack can't hold anything else. So we're gonna... Actually, you know what would be good? Because it does have that hole for the sword, if you weren't ever going to use the sword again, you could always affix the canteen there. That would give it a bit of contrast as well. But there's not much else more I can do with it, but we'll throw the grenade launcher on. Oh yeah, that's a good look. Yeah, that's a good look. Let's pop that helmet back on again. Now that screams more commando than you know, what else he comes with. So yeah, it definitely works for both figures, guys. So if you want to do something a bit different, now you can. So yeah, look, this is a tough one for me because I had like high hopes for this set, and you know, that backpack issue really has taken the wind out of my sails. You know, you add to that the issue with the canteen not fixing onto the backpack, like it shows in the photos on their website. Like, I don't think I'm missing anything. I could be wrong. You You know, the detail of the accessories is fantastic, and everything you get is great. And you know, I really look forward to popping that on the back of the helmet here and fixing that. And you know, I really like the netting, you know, and the weaponry, but yeah, a bit disappointing. You know, the bipod is again a small sort of miss, I guess. But yeah, this set hasn't really hit the highs that I had anticipated. But again, you know, I could have just got a faulty backpack peg or something like that, and you know, I will reach out to the good folks at Gridiron and suss things out. But yeah, I guess I can't give this a glowing review like I'd like to, I'm afraid. But with that said, it does work for both figures, and you know, can definitely improve this guy. If you know, you haven't bought him, maybe you might now. But anyway, thanks for watching. We're pretty much done here today. I hope you liked the video. Hope you found it informative. Please feel free to like it. Again, if you're new to the channel, a sub would be amazing. Turn your bell notifications on and you'll never miss a video from me as well. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, please go back and check them out. There's a couple of other Gridiron ones there that have been some real crowd pleasers. But anyway, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you're enjoying your collection. And I hope you see that, you know, there are positives and negatives to things. But you can be respectful about it. And you can give praise where it is due. But you can also be critical at the same time. It's not that difficult. Just don't be an ass and have yourself an amazing day.